honest, man.
here's the thing. Like on Karate Kid 3, we maybe were on set like one day together because of that tournament, right? So
Oh yeah.
he didn't even remember that it was me who was in Karate Kid 3 when I saw him at an autograph convention a couple years before Cobra Kai, and Rob Garrison was there, who
Oh
played
yeah.
Tommy, and I got a chance to meet him before he passed. And I had a picture that I had taken on set on Karate Kid 3 of Martin Kove getting his makeup done, I believe.
Oh
And
yeah.
he's sitting in that chair, and I posted that photo, and it's sort of almost become a iconic photo. I took that photo.
That
And
was you.
yeah, that was my photo.
One of the
And
best pictures ever.
this was right before Thomas Ian Griffith returned, like so there was and Martin reposted that on his account, and it said, "I miss my old friend," and I think he was talking about Silver, and the internet lost its mind that day, you know. And I was going,
Yeah, it did. It did.
I'm going, oh my God, Martin used my picture. So I still had that original photo, and at the autograph thing, I went up to him and I gave him the photo, and he looked at it and he goes, "Where's this from?" And I said, "It's from Karate Kid 3. I took that photo." And he goes, "Oh." And I said, "You can have that." And he says, "I can have it?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he shook my hand. He says, "You're a good guy." And he still didn't realize that I was, was the guy in Karate Kid 3. So I finally get
That's
to
so
set on
funny.
Cobra Kai, and it was a day that we were actually going to work together, I think. And then I saw him. He was outside of his trailer, and I waved to him, and he goes, "Hey!" And I'm thinking, oh, he finally recognizes me. So I go over to him and I said, "Hi, how you doing, sir?" Um, and he says, "What are you doing on the set?" Like I said, I play Dennis de Guzman. He's the guy that kidnaps Ralph, and then he's responsible for he's like the long-haired goon that's referred to in the script. And he goes, "Oh, okay, yeah, I know who you are now." And then I would see him on set, and I would take pictures of him, and I would send it to I didn't have his cell phone number, so I would always send it to Landon, the production manager, and say, "Hey, can you please make sure Mr. Cove gets these?" Because he says he doesn't get a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and it makes him happy. So he's going, "Yeah, sure thing, I'll do that for you." And then one day we're at the Sekai Taikai set, and I come up to him, I'm like, "Mr. Cove, how are you this morning?" And he goes, "Hey, thanks for sending me those photos. That means a lot. I really appreciate that." And I was just like, "Oh, well, thank you, sir." And then finally, we did a premiere, a Netflix premiere where they showed episode 13 and episode 14. And that was the first time that the cast and crew had seen that. And, that's where the boat gets blown up and everything. And
Oh yeah.
I Marty comes up to me and goes, it's like he finally recognized, he finally like connected the dots, and he finally realized who I was. And he says, "I like the way that you had just that moment of regret right before, Silver sends you off to go threaten Johnny's wife and kid." He says, "You had that moment." He says, I saw that. And so I felt kind of like, okay, cool. I think the man finally knows who I am.
Took a while, but got there.
It only took 35 years, so
Only. Yeah.
it's okay.
Was you
No.
wasn't keeping track of the time
But
these.
I'm not I'm not buddies or friends with Mr. Cove. I have had a little bit of interaction with him. I've had some interaction with his son Jesse, who is amazing, and that's it. So again, I work with people, but I can give you like, okay, this is what my experience has been, but I really don't know these people very well. Other than the ones that I mentioned. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's my honor to be able to be part of it.
Well, it's an honor it's an honor to have you on the show, Sensei, because you're actually the first Karate Kid alumni I've had the esteemed pleasure of interviewing on my show, to tell you the truth.
Oh,
Yeah, sincerely, you are. So again, the honor is all mine having you on the show, Sensei. And I've interviewed Art Camacho, and he said he worked with Martin Cove. And so there was a bit of a connect. There was like a bit of the connecting the dots. Same thing with Ian Jacklin, who I've interviewed. He worked with him so many years ago, and they said Martin is actually the nicest person you met. And what was the reaction like when you were on set? Did you meet Thomas again after saying Thomas Ian Griffith again? You said, "Oh, Just feels like yesterday you're sitting in the back, you were sitting in your hot tub, and now here we are again, 35 years, and you still got the cool ponytail.
The first time Thomas and I saw each other after such a long time was we were on the Sekai Taikai set, and that's I think that's I give him the envelope and all that, and he sees me and he goes, "Hey!" Shakes my hand, gives me a hug. He says, "It's good to see you again, man." So I was, because I'm that kind of going. I don't know if Thomas is going to remember me, but he seemed to, and he was very warm. We talk a lot about martial arts. That seems to be our connection, and his connection to Master Jun Chong, the Taekwondo master. So
Oh yeah, he's lovely.
he likes talking about that. He and his wife are
That's
very
really good.
very talented. Both he and his wife, super talented people.
Yeah, no, he's a fantastic actor, Thomas Ian Griffith. I saw quite a lot of his other movies afterwards, such as Excessive Force. That was one of my favorite movies of his. The other one was obviously Vampires that he did because he worked with John Carpenter. I
Yeah.
mean, if somebody offered to work with John Carpenter, you instantaneously jump at the chance of that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, for sure. John
Definitely.
Carpenter is one of the great cinematic storytellers.
Oh, indeed, I agree with that. I agree with that. So, from all the advice you have, from all the people you have trained with in martial arts and the acting business, what is some of the best advice you have learned?
Um, Stay humble, be
Yes,
respectful, work
indeed.
hard, don't give up, have fun.
That's fantastic. That's really good. That is. I mean, like, because you can learn that from anything, and you can just put it all together and make yourself whole with everything, couldn't you?
Keep everything in perspective. That's the
Yeah.
thing. You know, and
No, I agree with that.
to me, it's to be of service. That's the thing. Be of service. Serve your fellow man, serve your fellow woman, serve the community. You know, um, just be of service. Some would say be of service to God. I'm not a religious person, but I'm a spiritual person, and I would say yes. Of course. Just be of service, be a humble servant. For the best outcome of everybody involved. Hopefully.
No, I agree with that because you always got to. There is that old cliche saying, isn't it, Sensei, where they say you treat people how you want to be treated how you want to be treated yourself. So if you're respectful to individuals, you will be given that respect in return because you gave some to get some. But if you're going to be rude and aggressive to other people, you better be ready to eat your own sandwich that you've been trying to force feed to other people, isn't it?
I like to believe that respect should be a two-way street. And you're not always going to get it back from the same person that you give respectful to, but that's okay. Don't expect it. Just give it, and it will come
Yeah.
back in some way. And if not from this person, from somebody else. Through your reputation. People will say, "Oh, somebody might say, hey, have you ever interviewed William Christopher Ford?" And you can say, "Oh my gosh." Stand-up
Yeah.
guy. That's what my hope is, right? And so
Oh, I'm
people
going to
would
say that. You don't worry about it.
and people would say, "Hey, this guy Adi, he asked me if I should be, if I would interview with him," and I would say, "Yeah, yeah, he's a great guy. You have a
Oh,
good
thank
time, do
you.
it." You know,
You're very kind. You're very kind, Sensei. Us.
well,
Like
it
to give
goes
you.
two ways. You've
Indeed,
been very
indeed
kind
it
to
does.
me, my brother. So
Thank you, brother. Oh, I'm a Cobra Kai brother now. Okay, that's
there you
fair.
go.
No,
There you go.
I'm honored. I'm honored. So we both strike first, strike hard, and showed no mercy. But
Yes,
we gave a lot of kindness. It's
we're
true what you said. It is true what you said earlier on about infusing both styles of Miyagi Do and Cobra Kai, where it can't just be one way and not the other way, because there is the both offensive tactic of Cobra Kai, and then you have the defensive art of Miyagi Do, because Mr. Miyagi always used to say all the time that it's used for defense only. That's everything. Every martial artist I trained with, he said the exact same thing. Whether it was learning Muay Thai, whether it was learning karate, capoeira, they all said the same thing. It's for defense only. But if you have to get aggressive when the time comes, please do not be nice. You're not a gardener in a war. You need to be a warrior in a war. So you need to turn on the warrior's mindset and then go
Mhm.
through it every single step of the way.
Well, I'll leave you with the quote from Patrick Swayze from Roadhouse: "Be nice until it's time not
Until
to
it's
be
time not
nice."
to be nice. One of my favorite movies ever.
For sure.
Yeah. And together, we just take out the trash.
There you go. 100%.
Classic movie that was thrown. I was like, fun. Ironic thing was, I was actually watching that last night
Oh,
before
that's
I
funny.
watched this. Sincerely, I just came across it. I was like, I forgot how great he was, Patrick Swayze, in that movie,
Yeah,
and the way you could you could tell the way he was trained. He was a proper legit martial artist. I think he had a martial arts background to a certain extent, but obviously he was more of a dancer.
yeah,
Because I
came
know
from a dance
Ralph,
background.
yeah,
But
because I know Ralph.
yeah, Ralph is a good tap dancer also. But Ralph, Patrick Swayze, Benny Urquidez, the legend, Benny the Jet
Yeah.
Urquidez, he was the I guess the coordinator on that show on Roadhouse, and he trained Patrick Swayze. So, um, you could see Benny's influence in that, you know.
Oh, indeed, you can. Yeah, I could tell by the way he was
Yeah,
doing the movement and everything. It was
yeah,
like he was moving like a. Because I can remember one interview I watched with the Sensei Okidas where he said he saw Patrick's movement and he was moving like a cat. And he
yeah.
goes, "That's how I'm going to train. I'm going to train him like a cat. So you don't see him coming at you, but when he does come at you, you better get out of the way because Dalton, classic character, and he will seal that person's fate, as you can see in it. I can remember, for those who haven't watched the movie, I'm not going to ruin it for them because it was a classic movie, Sensei.
But
I'm guessing it's one of your all-time favorites, isn't it?
yeah, it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there, So
Definitely. Okay, so what is the most important lesson to learn from martial arts?
I would say you can do things if you put your mind to it and if you don't give up.
Fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic, Sensei Ford. That's one of the best quotes I've ever heard myself personally. So thank you very much for that.
I believe that you can overcome obstacles. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it.
Indeed. Success will never be a straight line. There will be curves, but we will get to the destination at the end.
100%.
100%. Well, Sensei William Ford, it's been an honor to have you on the show. I hope to re-collaborate with you in the future, sincerely, brother. And if you're in England, like I said, coffee's on me. If I'm ever out in the US, again the coffee's on me because I'm not going to let you go thirsty without the coffee. That's for sure. But I really appreciate that. So again, speaking to you from watching you as a kid to speaking to you, this is very surreal. But thank you for making this Karate Kid and this Cobra Kai fans' dream come true. Us.
Well, listen,
Thank you.
man, the pleasure was mine. And, I'm the same guy that you see on 52 Masters. I'm the same guy. It's just, this is me. And I just want to be kind to people and I want to help people as much as I can. So I'm glad that I
I
could
think
be
you've already
here.
succeeded. You've already succeeded. You've already succeeded in that department. So
Thank you so much.
thank you, most welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon. I wish you all the best to you, and God bless you for everything.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So.